everybody, and welcome to our top 10 quick comic picks. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our real quick show. We're going to go over about 10 different books we think you need to know about this week before you head into your store, whether it be Tuesday or Wednesday, and pick up your new comics. There's some really great ones
Mm.
coming out this week, and I think there's a lot that need not explanation, but you may be wondering about them. So
Oh.
let's get into it.
So we're going to start with Batman Off-World #1. This is a new mini-series where Batman, in his second year of being Batman, decides that he needs more training, but he needs to train in space so that he can, train against extraterrestrial threats. But when he gets up there, it runs into a crew of aliens. He may find that he bit off more than he could chew.
Batman can chew a lot.
That's right.
Next up, I've got The Holy Roller. This is really cool. So this is actually by Rick Remender, Andy Samberg from SNL and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Joe Troman from Fallout Boy all came together to do this book about a young man who comes back to his hometown to find it kind of in disarray. And to help set things right, he takes up his father's bowling ball and
Mhm.
becomes a vigilante. So if you like that, if you like kind of the Andy Samberg humor, you will definitely like this. And issue number 1 is 42 pages long, so you get a double issue right there.
Next is Daredevil Black Armor #1. This is a new miniseries that takes place right after the Fall from Grace storyline from back in the 90s when Daredevil is still wearing this, what I think is this awesome black suit. He runs, he learns about a human trafficking ring. He doesn't know yet who is behind it, but we do because we see it in the book, and I'm really excited for Daredevil to take on that character.
Next up, I've got a new book from Distillery. That's why it's the magazine size. This is Somna. This is really good. This is a little bit more of your spicy book
Mm.
set within kind of the witch hunt era in American history about a woman who is trying to deal with the kind of witch hunts in her town and who can she trust. But on top of that, there is a dark, shadowy creature that's visiting her in her dreams. Is she a witch? We don't know yet, but there's some crazy stuff going down in this really cool period piece, Somna.
Next is Carnage #1. This is a new series featuring Carnage. During the end of the Venomverse storyline, the symbiote, who was not attached to anybody, rid itself of all of these standard symbiote weaknesses, and now it considers itself a god. But he wonders who worships me, right? Then he knows he needs to be rebonded with Cletus Cassidy. That is explained how Cletus comes back, and then from there, there's a series of grisly murders, and Flash Thompson may be the only one who can figure out what's behind it all.
Hmm. Well, next up, I've got Superman number 8. This is actually our final part of the Chained storyline, and this is really cool. We learn a lot of kind of truths about the Chained and what is his connection with Connor Kent, Superboy.
Oh,
They have very similar powers, but where is the source of that? You'll find out more from there, more secrets of Lex Luthor, and is Superman even going to survive this issue? Because it looks real bad. So check out Superman number 8.
he probably won't survive, and that's the end of
That's
Superman.
the end
Yep.
of it. 8 issue run.
Next is Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Battleworld. So this miniseries takes place during or in between panels 4 and 5 on page 36 of Secret Wars #12 from
Wow.
1984. Very specific. Spider-Man is essentially plucked out of Battleworld and gets sent to various realms, and there's these two voices narrating. We don't know who it is yet, but they're testing him to see how he handles all these different scenarios that he's thrown up against. Human Torch eventually gets thrown in there as well, and then they run into a couple of villains that were not in the original series. And this one, if you like the original Secret Wars, then this one's a lot of fun.
Very cool. I like how specific it is.
Right.
Next up, we've got Hack Slash Back to School number 2. Issue 1 was great. Issue 2 continues the greatness with Zoe Thorogood's writing and art as Cassie Hack heads out on her first slaughter hunt now that she's part of this school for slasher hunters. And it takes her to a video game world that is very much like your Undertale or Five Nights at
Oh, yeah.
Freddy's with a lot of lore and that kind of thing. Great art, great story. If you're not reading this one, I highly suggest picking it up.
Next is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong #2. And where the first issue didn't have a whole lot of giant monsters, this one, that's all it had.
Yeah.
You've got Superman and Hawkgirl going up against Godzilla in Metropolis. You've got the entire Bat family and Black Canary and Cyborg going up against a big bat winged creature in Gotham. Other monsters pop up in other cities, and it's the entire Justice League spread out amongst across the globe fighting giant monsters, and it's there's a lot of really cool images and scenes in this one.
And next up, I've got Void Rivals issue number 6. This is actually the final issue of this first volume of Void Rivals. It will return in March, but they say they want all of the other books, Transformers, Duke, and Cobra
Mhm.
Commander, to kind of catch up to
Yeah.
this. So, if that gives you any hints of maybe what's to come, definitely check out Void Rivals issue number 6 and find out what is going on. And that is it for our
That's it.
top 10 quick comic picks. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe. We would really appreciate it, like deeply
Mhm.
appreciate it if you would subscribe and like this video and tell a friend if they want some very positive comic goodness and reviews to check out Infinity Flux and head over to infinityflux.net right now where you can order and pre-order tons of comics. Stay tuned for our longer show coming up where we're going over all of these books, plus many more and the variants coming up real soon. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time,
See ya.
see ya.